I have actually been putting this one off for a while, guys, because my thoughts on this are going to be A, minimal, B, confusing to parse through. And I think it really comes down to the fact that this movie, the more I think about it, the less actually good it is. But the stuff that I like because I like stupid shit. So, there it is. So, let us begin the complicated views, ramblings vlog of the end of Oak Street, while I have laundry I need to fold in the background. So, I love dinosaurs. I know that's not an uncommon thing. Like, people generally say there's like, four different types of boys or whatever. I forget what it is. It's like, there are four obsessions that boys have. One is dinosaurs, one is, trains, one is fantasy, so unicorns, dragons, that sort of stuff, and the other is, I think, sports. But point being, it's one of the four things that every boy loves or whatever. So, I'm not it's not unusual for me to say I like dinosaurs. I literally have a dinosaur skull in my room, okay? I love dinosaurs. I also love cheesy, bad, terrible dinosaur movies, One of my favorite movies ever is Carnosaur 2. Yes, the one that blatantly rips off Alien beat for beat for beat, including up to the point where they go up into a helicopter and, we need to leave, we're going to nuke the site from orbit. And of course, there's a raptor behind the pilot and the plane crash, the helicopter crashes, kaboom. It's literally scene for scene Aliens. And you know what? All four Carnosaur movies actually aren't that bad. Even Raptor, which is really just trying to cobble together a new plot to have clips from the previous three Carnosaur movies all play in the same movie. There's a lot of cheesy, bad dinosaur movies I like, okay? Tammy and the T-Rex, obviously Carnosaur, I need to see Primitive War. I haven't seen that one yet, but I like cheesy dinosaur movies. And if you want just a cheesy dinosaur movie, this one's actually pretty good. I mean, you get a lot of dinosaurs. They're doing dinosaur things. Like, realistically, they pop in like the first 10, 15 minutes. This is not Jurassic Park where you gotta wait an hour for the T-Rex to break free. No. The dinosaur carnage starts. And then once the dinosaur's carnage starts, it really never stops. Scene 1, escape X dinosaur. Scene 2, escape Y dinosaur. Scene 3, escape Z dinosaur. So on and so forth. You just see a bunch of dinosaurs. And it's not always dinosaurs. It's not always raptors or the Spinosaurus or the Allosaurus or whatever. There's a Titanoboa in there. I don't know what the name of the turtles are, but there's giant, not Precambrian, the Cretaceous turtles or whatever in there. There's, and of course the mixing up of what dinosaurs and what time period doesn't really matter. It's a time travel movie. They get sucked into a vortex, to 30 bajillion years ago. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could have had a saber-toothed tiger in here, and, a mastodon, and also a colossal squid or something. It really wouldn't have mattered. So if you're just looking for action-packed set pieces of just, here's a dinosaur chasing someone, and then someone hits a dinosaur up with the head with a sledgehammer, yeah, you're gonna get your money's worth just because, ooh, it's pretty dinosaurs and, stuff like that. If you're looking for accurate dinosaurs, it's a mixed bag because, on one hand, yay, the theropods have, not theropods, no, I think that's the right word. The dinosaurs that are actually, descendants of birds have feathers. Allosaurus has feathers, the raptors have feathers. I don't think they ever actually named what raptors they are. But, considering they're like 8 feet tall, okay, I guess it's a Utah raptor. Or maybe they actually are Deinonychus. Don't know, it's not said in the movie. But, so yeah, there's feathered dinosaurs. On the other hand, the Apatosauruses, or Brachiosauruses, I didn't get a good look at the head, or, Titanosaurus, or whatever, have very long, shaggy hair. Okay, and that is the most weird thing ever. The Titanoboa is... I would have to actually look at it again, but I remember it having like the diamond shaped head that requires that it has venom, even though I think Titanoboa was a constrictor. But screw it, not many people know about Titanoboa, so, it's like saying Megalodon looks wrong. Yeah, we don't really know what Megalodon looks like. The only thing that survived was the teeth, so stuff like that. But, yeah, so if you're just looking for dinosaur action, go ahead, watch it. It's probably going to be free on Tubi in like 4 days. Because, I was the grand total of the third person in the entire movie theater watching this movie. So this movie's not going to do well in the box office. And it's probably going to wind up on Tubi because everything cheap and schlocky winds up on Tubi. Even though clearly there was money put into this. But yeah, it's like that. It's like that. So if you're looking for just plain old dinosaurs, go ahead, go see it. You'll love it. Whatever. Is it as good as Carnosaur 2? No. Carnosaur 2 is amazing, but it's a pretty decent dinosaur movie. Now let's get into the bits of stuff that I'm kind of on. So, if anyone has ever seen Overlord, Overlord was, advertised as this schlocky throwback to like a Nazi exploitation movie where a evil Nazi scientist creates like a lab of super soldier zombie demon things, and everyone's got like shotguns and shooting them, and yeah, that's the last 5 minutes of the movie. The rest of it is like some, oh no, we're a serious war movie where we have to tap for the mines and hide in the attic and watch as the Nazis go down the steps and they start coming maybe closer to where we're hiding, and we pull out the pistol and the other guy goes, no. Like we're like a serious stealth movie behind enemy lines or whatever. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're fucking Overlord. Stop this shit. Get to the Nazi scientist bullshit, This movie does not go full Carnosaur. It doesn't go full schlock. Like, whenever there's a death, it cuts away. Like, I should be seeing someone's arm get ripped off and just see strings of blood and whatnot just gushing out of them, to the point where it's comical. Like, what is the pressure inside this human? 50,000 PSI? Are they the exploding tank from Jaws? That sort of thing. Like, you have a Titanoboa, you've got, dinosaurs attacking medieval suburbia, etc., etc., and yet you're trying to, like, pull away. It's like... It's like if you were to make a Conan the Barbarian movie, I want you to tell me what you think that Conan the Barbarian movie should be. Do you want book-accurate Conan, which is very, very different from the Schwarzenegger movie? Do you want schlocky Conan? And then the midpoint is somewhere right here, where you got the Jason Momoa Conan, where, okay, Conan actually speaks in full sentences and is fluent and eloquent, and okay, I can see that, but then the rest of it is just like, it's missing that edge, it's missing the vibe. Like, Conan Schwarzenegger really has a grand total of like 5 minutes of actual dialogue in the movie. The rest of it is panning shots of the scenery, and like, here's a person boiling a person's hand in a stew. Like, there's just prolonged musical sequences just setting the scene, and you just see, like, here's the random part where the person takes off their top and starts doing a dance to have the giant snake come out of the woodworks and, do giant snake things. Why was this needed? I don't know, but it somehow took up 5 minutes of time, So it's that. It's not... So, on one hand, we've got Jurassic Park, which, is our gold standard of dinosaur movies. And on the other side, we've got Carnosaur 2, Carnosaur 3, Raptor. And somewhere in the middle is End of Oak Street. And because it's somewhere in the middle, it's not pleasing either side of this debate, I think. You're not getting your serious dinosaur movie. You're not getting your schlocky, cheesy dinosaur movie. Like, Bean, you're just, yes, I know you love to lick my hair tie bag. Yes, thank you. I'm pretty sure that people can pick that up, though, in the recording. So, anyway, yeah, so it's in the middle ground. It's in that middle area where it's not schlocky enough to be just a cheap schlock horror movie where it's like, yes, this is stupid shit and I love it. Let's have a bad movie night and watch a bad movie. It's also not good enough to make me go, yeah, that's a worthy successor to Jurassic Park, And it tries. Like, it's got a family, and the family are treated mostly like humans. Yep, and that bean is my thing to grab my earrings. Thank you for playing with that. It's not schlock. It's the parents are having a divorce. The kids are in danger. They're looking for their dog. There's a school bully. There's the boy has a crush. The crush turns out to be a lesbian, and the movie does nothing with this revelation, and or anything. The kid just continues creeping on her for being a teenage boy, but it doesn't really amount to anything. No one smacks him upside the head, or doesn't have like a character development growth. The bully just vanishes from the movie. I mean, sure, the bully still attacks the boy midway through, but then he just leaves. We don't even see the bully get eaten by a dinosaur. It just, happens. So, it's like, it's trying to be like, sort of like, I see the characters and I'm going, you're from E.T., you're from, Jurassic Park, you're from insert a Spielberg movie, They might as well have had the scene of, Brody mimicking his son's little hand gestures or vice versa, however that scene went, the dinner scene. We might as well have just had the dinner scene. So yeah. And the people, in all honesty, for a couple that's having a divorce, they're not bad people. It's like, the father has drinks of alcohol, but he's not a drunk in the movie, and they just sort of have, like, you see him take one shot. And then, that's just something that, she gets angry about. And, okay, and then you find out, well, he's under stress, he lost his job, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, okay, we've had a conversation about it. But was there any development or growth between these two characters? Like, he calls her out for wanting to leave. And then... But his character never wanted his family to leave to begin with. So even when the end of the movie comes, and spoilers, there's time travel involved, so technically this character that they meet, the dad, is not the same dad that had all the character development and, whatever. Like, so they still try to pay it off, like, oh, yeah, we had that conversation, I love you, and you know what, I don't want to leave you, and blah, 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 and this sort of stuff. It's like, but his character, A, doesn't know any of the things that you've gone through, and B, his character never wanted to divorce you to begin with. He doesn't need any motivation. He's already at that point, like there's an attempt of having this family come together and have some sort of statement about divorce and staying together and family and blah 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 blah. But yet it's not really earned. Even the character development of the woman, she wants to leave because you'll notice I'm saying the father, the mother. I don't know what these characters' names are. Like, I can name you Lex, Tim, Dr. Grant, Sadler, Ian Malcolm. I can name those people. Like, maybe I don't know specifically who, hold on to your butts. Like, what was that character's name besides, oh, it's Sam Jackson? Okay, I might not know his name. But, I know Dr. Wu. I know, I was about to say Ed Regis, but Ed Regis is the book. Gennaro. Gennaro, I know that. Muldoon. Like, I know these people's names. I don't know the names of the family in this movie. So, like, it's like it's an outline of a movie. You know, it's got the beats. Point A, point B, point C, point D. Like, it is a functional story. Like, there's the idea. Family in crisis, family comes together. You know, there's an idea. There's a point. But it's like someone plucked out all the little bits, the little tiny information that needs to happen. Kind of like, and I hate bringing this up, the Star Trek movies that J.J. Abrams made. It's like, yes, we have the functional beginning, middle, and end here, and this is how this character got here, and here, and here, but it works off of so much, like, coincidence, where it's like, if you think about it, this character just saw their loved one, their father, or whatever, you know, get destroyed by the villain, you know? The father gets murdered by Khan. They're sad for the scene where they are in that room. And then the very next room they're in, the character is just stoic, back to how they were the rest of the movie. It's like the emotion only existed for that one scene, and then never existed again. Now we're gonna go have a fist fight with Khan on top of a subway train or whatever. Like, yeah, because when I think of Spock, I think of fisticuffs. Okay. Like, yes, functionally this is a movie. Functionally it has a beginning, middle, and end, and you can watch it, have a good time. But it's like all the actual, like, heart is taken out. It has the idea of heart. It has the idea of a family coming together. It has the idea of, you know, this sort of stuff. But it doesn't understand why those things happen, or why Dr. Grant going from hating kids to liking kids feels earned. Whereas this movie, I don't feel it earns it. Now, a lot of the discussion is going to be about the ending, and it's like, well, technically, with the time travel, that means that, you know, there's duplicates of these people, and those duplicates died, but these people lived, and, you know, isn't that a form of suicide? And I don't care. I don't care. It's a time travel movie. I don't care. I'm not gonna go over that. Were there two of the girl next door? Maybe. I mean, does it matter? No, not really. No. I mean, somehow she ran all the way to her house and out of the void in 20 minutes. I mean, somehow also Maureen or Maudra or whatever her name was called conveniently only the characters that we named and not, like, issued an entire warning somehow to get everyone off of the... Doesn't matter. Don't care. Like, it's not important. I'm not going to debate the time-traveling ethics of this time-travel movie. And, you know, well, technically, it's not like Primer, where there's a believable cause and effect and 9 time. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. So, there's that. However, I will say this. I will say that this is, you know, it is the in-between movie. You know, either it needed to be more Jurassic Park. Sorry, I believe Jurassic Park was this side of the discussion. It either needs to be more Jurassic Park, or it needs to be more Carnosaur. Like, this is one of those movies that probably would get infinitely more rewatchable if, for whatever reason, every single character was somehow topless. You know, like it's that type of movie where it's like, yeah, this is a guy's hitting a Allosaurus with a sledgehammer, and yeah, there's a giant Titanoboa, and, you know, it's like, this is one of those movies where it's just like, if this was just more cheaply made, this would be one of those movies where suddenly every single female character would be naked the entire movie, and everyone would be like, yes, this is stupid shit, we love the stupid shit. Like, so yeah, it just straddles that line between the stupid shit in Jurassic Park and winds up being neither, you know? And yes, I realize as I give that explanation that, you know, the cast of characters in this movie, half the female cast are underage. obviously don't do that. Like, obviously don't. But, you know, like, we're more looking for, like, and also, don't be the movie where it's like, because I've seen this happen numerous times with dinosaur movies as well, where the dinosaurs happen to be on an island with Amazons, and Amazons being ageless and having no men, somehow don't understand the concept of sex or anything in the modern world, like, penis? What is a penis? I do not know what that is. Like, no, don't do that either. Don't do that either. I'm just saying, this should have been a hard R schlocky piece of shit. It really should have been. It's better than a hard R schlocky piece of shit. But considering it's not as good as Jurassic Park, so it's not going to count. And B, it's clearly making $0 in the box office. This is going on Tubi next to the pieces of schlock, like, you know, Bimbo Dinosaur Island 3 or whatever. It's probably a real movie, I have no idea. I would have preferred more schlocky shit then, you know? Just go full stupid. You know? Like, and that's my overall thoughts on this. It's like, it didn't have enough thought and care to be truly good, to be truly on the Jurassic Park level. But considering it, you know, it's a matter of trying and failing to be Jurassic Park versus not trying. Yeah, basically this is the debate. Is it better to aim for Jurassic Park and fall short, where you're always going to be thought of as number 2, number 3, you know, the 3rd best, the 4th best, the 5th best, versus we're going to be the biggest high-budget piece of shit ever, which you would have succeeded. You would have succeeded in being the highest budget, the best of the cheap schlock Carnosaur movies. And I don't know. I'm going at it going, well, you know what? The movie that existed just kind of left me with that was a movie. Had it been a schlocky piece of shit, maybe I'd be going, oh my god, this was the most stupid, dumb, ridiculous movie. Everyone go see it. It's great. It's so stupid. You'll love it. Personally, I think I would have done that. But who knows? I mean, I saw Dragon War, and Dragon War was stupid and was bad and was terrible, and I went away with it going, wow, that was stupid, bad, and terrible. Not, oh my god, this is a terrible piece of shit, you have to see it. Okay? You know? But that's you know, my thoughts, you know? Be more life force. Be more, oh, what's a good, cheap, schlocky movie? My brain is saying In the Mouth of Madness, but that's not really schlocky. That's actually really good. Oh, Event Horizon. I've got Dr. Grant. I've got Sam Neill in my brain now. I'm just naming Sam Neill movies. Oh well, that's my confusing thoughts on not Primitive War. Primitive War is the one in Vietnam. End of Oak Street. End of Oak Street. Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily a good video. A good vlog or whatever. This really is just the rambling thoughts of someone trying to be like, it was okay. And really, at the end of the day, that's the hardest thing a movie can be, right? Is just, it's okay. If it made me angry, I'd be angry about it. If it made me happy, I'd be happy about it. If it makes me go, it was a movie. Go watch it when it's free on Tubi. That's where it's going to end up.